Let Bishop David G. Evans steer you toward some of the most meaningful, life-altering times with our Creator in Conversations.
God says, I want to have a conversation with you. Why? Right now, my thoughts are higher than yours. My ways are a little different than yours.
Man himself is the fruit of a conversation. God talking to Jesus, Jesus talking to the Holy Ghost talking back to God. They're having a conversation concerning you.
But if you start talking to me, you'll get to understand my ways and my thoughts. So God wants this conversation so we can ultimately become all He's created us to be.
I know the thoughts I have concerning you. And I just want to have a conversation with you so you can hear what I'm thinking about you.
Cultivate the most important relationship you'll ever have. Order Conversations today. When you write to us, visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings, and you can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live at 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up to the minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Are you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course. From ridiculous to radical to real, this means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, from ridiculous to radical to real, and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. Won't you tag 4 or 5 people right now? Make contact with your friends, your followers. Have them join what will be another powerful conversation here on Point. We're here every Saturday morning between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Any smart device, see us live video. We're in a situation where you can't watch us, you can listen to us for the next 60 minutes as we talk about those things important pertaining to religion, faith, Jesus, the Word of God, politics, sports, current events, but always from a kingdom point of view. So we want you to join us today, 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. That's 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. That's toll free. So you jump on as soon as possible. As soon as we get our flow going, you find out what we're going to talk about today or something on your mind. You can just reach out to us and we'd be glad to talk with you about it. Of course, joining us again is our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith.
Good morning.
Hey, man.
Good morning, people.
Man, oh, man. Pretty exciting, not exciting in a yay week, but a pretty eventful week in the news and sports and politics and all kinds of things. I'm disappointed but not shocked at the Supreme Court's ruling on upholding the restrictive voting rights of people.
Yeah.
I'm also not encouraged by the fact that there are about 42 other states that have the same types of legislations up for consideration.
Yeah, 17 went through already, I think.
Did they?
17 states, yeah, already went through already. Well, it's mainly the southern Midwest states, like down here.
Now, here's my problem. I think this whole thing is an admission by the Republican Party that they no longer have a majority, and they're going to have to try to keep people away from the polls in order to win. And they're willing to do things like take away, watch this, the constitutional guys are willing to take away people's right to vote.
Yeah.
Or make it so hard to vote that they, but what I think they're going to do, I say this a lot, I don't know who's at the helm of the Republican Party right now, but they seem to be making the same mistakes over and over again. So they're going to make it harder, which means people are going to be more determined. And they're going to, the Democratic Party, from what I understand, has already allotted $42 million for voter support. And we're years away.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what they're thinking.
The Supreme Court's hinging their decision on nobody's taking away your right to vote, even with the restrictions. You can still go vote. So that's legal. So we're not taking it away, but making it hard is not.
Yeah, and it was the conservative part of the court that ruled on that stuff.
Yeah, of course they did.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. And
that's convoluted.
Yeah. And the reality is they're saying that they don't have to prove fraud for states to make these rules. The crazy thing is, though, in 2016 and 2020, most of the voter fraud was from the Republican side.
Absolutely.
Voting for Trump.
But nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about it.
I'm just saying.
You know, I mean, guys, their mothers passed away and they voting, casting their mothers' votes. All that. That was Republican people.
Them. That was all them. So I mean, the two of them was your caregiver or your partner has to be the only person to take your ballot to the ballot place. Anybody else, a friend, if the person's disabled, they either got to.
You know, it's going to really be weird that the people that they want, that they think they're giving advantage to, a whole lot of seniors vote by mail. A whole lot of seniors don't have a quote-unquote caregiver. I don't know what they're thinking about. And they make the same mistakes over and over again. And it's just, but you know what? This may seem more efficient than trying to build a bigger tent so other people would want to be a part of
They're
what
not concerned with that.
Okay.
They're not concerned with that.
Okay.
And I hate to beat a dead horse, but I got to go back to it. Because some of y'all didn't like Hillary Clinton. Trump got in office and got to appoint all those judges. And then now y'all complaining about what these judges are doing.
But they stayed home.
But y'all stayed home.
I don't like either one of them, so I'm not voting at all.
Elections have consequences.
Absolutely. And we're still feeling the consequences of, what, 2 elections ago?
Yep. Yeah. And just with Trump, 4 years alone, that right there, they're going to have to go and try to rehab as much as that as they can. But now those judges are in place, unless they get removed.
Well, the federal government, well, here's the other piece. What this has done is going to cause the federal government to step in and make some laws to protect everybody's right to vote.
Yeah.
So once again, and I believe what they've done is move that effort up to the front burner. You know, so they're going to, because the federal law can put in place, okay, everybody has a right to equal access to voting, and make laws that do that. And they're going to force them to do it now. And they can do it, what they call that, where they don't need any Republicans for the vote.
Filibuster that?
Not filibuster.
I know what you're talking
when they
about.
can just do it, and
I know what you're talking
Mrs. Harris can break the tie.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name right now.
Yeah.
They should actually, the way they do the elections, election day should just be a national holiday. People have off from work
And go vote.
vote.
Yep.
Just call this.
They
but
don't
want that.
They don't want that to happen, man, because people that don't usually vote will vote.
Yeah. Or be like England and a couple other places. You can't campaign. I think they have a rule where
They
you
stop
can't
'em.
campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, they
like
stop 'em.
6 months before. You can only start 6 months before.
Yeah.
Rather
Yeah.
than 2 years before.
Yeah.
But it's become a money making system for them.
Oh yeah.
They know they're not going to win.
But they're gonna have a whole treasure chest of money.
I'm just saying. It's a hustle. You know?
Man, what a hustle.
Yeah.
You know, Trump walked away with what, $200 million?
Oh yeah, he's still getting money coming in for this. Over they say that the election fraud thing is very well financed. I mean, people are donating like insane amounts of money to get this election.
They haven't
overturned.
figured out they've been hustled yet?
No, that's the thing, because they really honestly believe it,
Unbelievable.
and they got money coming in.
Well, I think they messed up a little bit because they had this automatic giving thing going. People thought they were giving once and found out they were going back and hitting them over and over again.
And most people don't recognize $5 here from their account, $3 here. You're not paying attention to that small amount
Until you need some money.
until you need some money. Then you know, I need to reduce this bill.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the Supreme Court, and you know, they did a good job pretending that they were not politically motivated. I think this takes the covers off of that. And they're calling, I don't like the fact that now conservative, which I believe I'm pretty conservative in my politics, conservative and prejudice are now considered the same
They're
term.
synonymous, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they're synonymous, unfortunately.
So there was a lot of talk about Mr. Cosby being released, and I'm sure it's a volatile subject. And in this country, if you have money, you can drive a problem further and further up the chain until you get. Now, we do have to admit there were some shenanigans going on in Pennsylvania, and you know, from our people that have churches in Montgomery County, they say it is a very, very disadvantageous place for a person of color to get arrested. Very disadvantageous. So the legal system allows for what just happened with him. So, what do you think?
Regardless of some of the women who knowingly were doing these pill parties, whatever, with him,
Yeah,
right?
I'm glad you used the word knowingly.
Yeah, knowingly, because some of them knowingly did it. They went in there knowingly. They kept coming back, knowing what was going on.
20 and 30 times.
Yes.
Yeah,
The ones that didn't,
yeah,
that's an issue.
absolutely.
And I've seen people go through every conspiracy theory, everything. Here's my thought.
Okay.
If that was your mother, your sister, your cousin,
Yep.
your friend that he did that to, would you be celebrating his release?
No, but here's one of my lawyers had to teach me about the law.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, what I'm about to explain to you is not going to make sense.
Yeah.
I said, but that does not seem fair. She said, no, but it's the law.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So an attorney friend of mine told me 20 years ago, if you don't have any money, you don't have a legal problem. In other
Yep.
words, it's just going to go the way the law says.
Yep.
But if you have money,
Mm-hmm.
you can press the buttons in the law
Yeah.
and perhaps have some advantage. So if you or I got in trouble like that,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have enough money. We wouldn't have enough money we wouldn't have, $10-20 million to spend
Yeah.
to get free. I don't know how much it costed.
Yeah.
But I'm sure his defense was in the millions.
Oh yeah.
So
And I'm looking at it from a nuanced standpoint.
yeah.
He went to jail over something they shouldn't have done. In the sense of the legal part.
I don't even understand why somebody with his kind of money had to do what he was doing.
Thank you.
I don't get that.
Thank you.
I don't get
Like,
that.
you just,
I-
and I mean, again, there are some women that knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if he was abusing you, and some women are celebrating this stuff, if he abused you against your will, you didn't know what he did.
Right.
Would you be happy? And now we both counsel women who've gone through sexual assault. I mean, legit, like real.
Yeah, real assault.
This stuff.
Not I don't like the way he talked to
Yeah,
me,
thank you.
and
Yeah.
he brushed up against me, and I'm not sure what that was.
This was. I mean,
I'm sure enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know how triggering.
Oh yeah.
These events could be.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's another example of.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't believed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that some of them deal with for the rest of their life.
And here's the thing that's unfair about it.
Mm-hmm.
The law allows for his relief.
Yep.
That's what
Yeah.
So at times it appears as though that not only is the justice system biased,
Mm-hmm.
but it also has a bias towards money,
Yes. Absolutely.
because he had the ability to keep pressing this thing,
Mm-hmm.
but also some of the things that the DA did from Pennsylvania
Yep.
were absolutely
absolutely
illegal.
atrocious.
They were absolutely
Yep.
illegal.
Yep.
And
And that's my thing. I'm conflicted. I don't feel either type of way about this whole situation.
Yeah,
In the sense
yeah.
of him getting out or
Yeah,
staying.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about from the abuser standpoint. And then the other part too, you're right. If the DA is doing illegal things to get somebody locked up, how come they're not going to jail?
well,
Or
that's or disbarred
Yeah.
or something,
right.
because that's judicial misconduct. That's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They basically coerced him into saying some things that they eventually gave the complainants some verbiage to use in the trial against him.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And my thing is
That's
y'all,
a technicality.
That's a technicality.
And that's how he got off.
Yep. And my thing, y'all.
So
is
he's acquitted, not
Yeah,
basically not guilty.
You're not guilty. And they can't try him again.
No, he's acquitted. That acquitted means I'm guilty, but I got off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I see too much nuance and stuff. It's just
No. I think
two things can be true.
when you see both sides,
Yeah.
I have the reverse philosophy for myself. When I'm confused about a thing, I know I'm seeing all sides of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he can still be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The DA can be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The white man who raped somebody that got off could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he could still be wrong. I don't know why we got to say, well, he got off, but how come he didn't get off?
We don't like acquittal. We like not guilty.
Both are wrong. Like,
Because unless he's got something going on in his head, where the only way he feels like he can
yeah.
be with a female is to have some kind of drugs going on to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, they would take him out for a drink.
Yeah. Now,
Back in the day.
Now you have lived more life than I have outside of church. I grew up in church.
Okay.
You've lived a
yeah.
little more.
I was out there a while.
Right. Now maybe I'm just seeing this wrong. Why would I want to be with somebody that I have to force to
I
be with me?
don't get that. I don't get that side.
Yeah.
And I don't get once I know something wrong happened to me, why am I going back to your house?
The other side too, yes.
That's the other side.
That's the other side.
Why am I going back to your house?
Yep.
Why does he have to do this kind of thing?
Yep.
Because wait a minute, we're assuming something. We're assuming based upon the amount of money that he has, that he's a different kind of man.
Yeah.
and maybe he's not.
And the TV presentation. That
Yeah, maybe he's not.
Yeah. But at the same time, bruh, I know some guys and women who are highly unattractive, but because they have money and power,
they become attractive to people.
It probably was thrown at him.
Yep.
You didn't have to do this.
I think there seemed to be a certain type that he wanted, but I don't. We're looking at two extremes. We're looking at why did he have to do it that way, which means we're not looking past his role as the the father comedy and all that nonsense, you know.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at the ladies who were a victim of his and the repetitive nature of most of them.
Yeah.
You know, so there was just so much, I call it craziness on both sides.
Yeah.
What I don't like is removing responsibility from him.
Yes.
And I don't like removing responsibility from the ladies.
Yep. Yeah. Especially, again, you go 20, 30 times.
Something's wrong. No.
Knowing what you're doing.
There's some compensation for that. When I say compensation, you're going for a reason. You're getting something out of it.
And people have those pill parties where they go, take these pills, have sex, do all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Knowingly. But my issue is the ones who he just did it and they didn't know what was going on. And
because I'm not sure you can go 10 times, walk away hungover 10 times, and not realize something's going on there.
Yeah.
I was out there in the world for a while.
Yeah.
You know, spent my first 26 years out there in the world, and lived a full worldly life.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of questions. But the bottom line is, in America, most times, have enough money.
Yep.
You can work your way out of a situation.
Yeah. You're right. Do a little time. And
I know that's right. Let's talk to Angela from Kentucky. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Bishop. Good morning.
How you doing?
Good morning.
Doing wonderful this morning.
Welcome to OnPointe. Welcome once again.
Thank you. My question. Well, I want to comment about Bill Cosby, and then I have a question. I was very torn in that situation when that started to happen, and not because I didn't think he was guilty, but because I think a lot of different people were guilty at that point of doing the very same thing.
Okay.
And, I believe that Bill Cosby had the money to, get himself out of that situation. But the other gentlemen, like Harvey Weinstein, didn't even have to go through that process.
Oh, he's going to jail now.
He's going to jail now, though.
He's
finally.
He's in jail,
finally going. And
but you see how long you can delay it if you have money, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Bill Cosby, this wasn't new when he went to jail. They've been trying to get him since the 90s on this.
Wow.
Right.
But he had the influence to
had
keep
the
it.
money and the influence.
But a lot of them, he was doing the same things a lot of other ones were doing without going through the process they took him through. And so that was just my only issue with, why was he put out on Front Street like that?
He was in Montgomery County, which is a pretty tense place to get arrested and tried. The prosecutor was absolutely trying to make a name for himself by pulling down a celebrity.
Right.
And he started erasing the boundaries, erasing the lines to try to get him any way he could. So from what I understand, he promised him he wouldn't prosecute him in a criminal court,
right,
and would leave it to a civil court if the ladies wanted to sue. But then I didn't know that he had paid a couple of them over the years, millions of dollars, which, the thing is so convoluted, Angela, that it's just, the bottom line is that he was promised something he didn't get, and that's the technicality that got him off.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Now, he did have to spend some money, some time in jail. So I wonder now, is he going to sue Pennsylvania?
I hope he doesn't. I hope he just lays low, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Before he unearths some other.
If he has his freedom at this age and his cognitive ability, I think he probably should enjoy the rest of his life without that kind of controversy. But,
I hope he doesn't jump up seeing all of a sudden. I hope
I
hope he doesn't jump up seeing all of a sudden, Angela. Now, we really went for it if all of a sudden he starts seeing.
Right.
The other thing that I wanted to ask your thoughts on is a young lady, Sha'Carri.
Yeah, we got a lot to say about that.
I wanted to ask your thoughts on what happened with her, what surrounded it, and her suspension.
Well, as far as I can research, her birth mother passed away.
Right.
She got the news, and her first response was to go get high. So it's within the 30-day barrier for getting high and running in the Olympics. So she lost her opportunity to run in the 100 meters. And if they are fair, she will lose her opportunity to run in the 4x1. Now, some people are saying that she comes from a bad background, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I say about that. I can't take my background. I can't use my background and say, I don't want you to discriminate against me because of my background. But then if I do something silly, I want you to use my background as an excuse for what I did. You know, none of us who are athletes that are, you know, working jobs every day had the kind of physical ability that these athletes have. On the other hand, we were told we couldn't do drugs and run. Couldn't do it. You know, we had these physicals we had to take. I mean, she said she knew what she was doing. She said she knew it was a problem. I'm wondering now if it was her, if that was her go-to in stress, then I'm wondering now what LSU has tolerated regarding her. The interview I saw, and I have members in my family who were high for years, Angela, so I'm not talking out of school. They were high for years. Some on alcohol,
Me too.
some on marijuana. And even in the interview that I saw, she looked high. She sounded high. So I think that to jump on and say they did this because she was black, you know, we know what the responsibilities are at that level. And because those are the responsibilities, we know we can't do drugs and run. So that's not a black thing. That's the rule. Now, she said something about, you know, you can't tell me how to cope. No, nobody's telling you how to cope, but you can't do it that way and run in the Olympics. It is what it is. But
I understand also that Michael Phelps had some issues.
Yep.
That he was never penalized for.
No, he was.
Drugs.
He was penalized for them.
I think he is.
Yeah, he was penalized.
It didn't stop him from being in the game.
But Michael Phelps wasn't doing it during competition time.
Yeah, it wasn't during competition time.
During the Olympics. That's the difference. People keep bringing that up.
Yeah, he wasn't 30 days from going overseas.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, you know, and now I'm not saying getting high is right on any front. But what I am saying is that the preciousness of the opportunity should motivate you. I'm not going to let anybody or anything mess this up for me.
Yeah.
You know, and there are a whole host of young people from the ages of 18 through 25. They're competing in these Olympics. A host of them. And they all have the same rules. So should we allow all of them to get a pass if they do some kind of drug infraction? Because a bunch of people just got thrown out for testosterone. Levels too high in females. A couple guys, but a lot of females. And you know, you don't get these super high testosterone levels because you ate too many cashews.
Right.
You know, so it's just
my youngest daughter was a cheerleader for 4 years, and she did not. You know, that was the thing that deterred her from drugs.
Okay.
Because she knew she wouldn't be at her top performance. But my oldest daughter did do some exploration because she didn't have the athletic background.
Okay.
So in my mind, I just thought, you know, athletes understood that this was something that they couldn't be a part of if they wanted to be on top of their game. But I think I also read somewhere they were saying that the marijuana acted as a performance enhancer.
Marijuana don't make you run faster.
Right. That's what I didn't think so. I mean,
John P. Key was like, marijuana have you mellow out.
You know, I mean,
like laced marijuana or genuine?
We know it wasn't allowed.
Well,
but I don't think it was a performance enhancer.
I know now. This is just me, my history.
Okay.
I know some people that got high before they played competitive sports.
Yes.
And they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they credited their creativity in what they did, and their speed in what they did, and just the whole flow of what they did.
Well,
To the
it
fact that
relaxes
they
you,
were
yeah.
high.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you know, so but it affects different people different ways. Some people become chatty, some people become laid back, some people become more assertive, some people don't. You know, so you're just not supposed to do it if you're going to do something this
Right.
special. You know, and
Yeah.
Right.
And to go back to Michael Phelps, because people keep bringing him up.
go ahead.
Phelps, first off, was never tested positive for marijuana. The issue was the picture that got out.
Right.
And it was right after the 2008 Olympics.
It was after the
After
Olympics.
the
It was
Olympics.
after the Olympics.
And they suspended him for 3 months.
Yeah.
Right? But he's able to come back for the 2009 World
Yeah.
Championships.
Yeah.
It was a time, I'm saying it's right, it's just when he did it.
Well,
It was
and I'm sure
Yeah.
he knew when it was
Yeah.
safe to have a little whatever
Yeah.
he wanted to have.
Yeah.
But
Well, thank you. Thank you for that clarity. I appreciate that.
I just think she did something wrong. And she said, I know what I did. I knew what the rules are.
Yep.
And I chose to do it. Okay. Then you really did choose to. But you know, I have a lot of friends that are professional athletes. And one of the things they have in common, if they were troublesome, is that whenever they made a career changing or ending mistake, the organization they were a part of pushed it over, covered it over, and got them to go forward.
Yep.
And they get used to that behavior, which is why you see a lot of professional football players get in the NFL and continue to have juvenile behavior. But someone has always, covered it up, made an excuse, or found a way out for them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thank you, Angela. How's things in
Thank
Kentucky?
you guys. You guys having a wonderful 4th of July.
You too. Things in Kentucky okay?
Yeah, we're so far so good.
Talk to you, girl.
Bye-bye.
866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. We're going to Tom next from Florida.
Man, you feel very open today, but
Yeah.
can we be honest, y'all? Now, my mother's still alive,
Okay.
right? So I don't know what it's like personally.
Right.
However,
Yeah.
I can be empathetic towards somebody.
Absolutely.
And I've been through some things in my life for my father, grandfather,
Yeah,
all those things,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think, me personally, we can be empathetic towards somebody's feelings.
Absolutely.
Feel where they are and say, you
Absolutely.
know what, I understand why you did what you did.
But it was wrong.
in that moment, but
Yeah.
it was still
Absolutely.
wrong.
Absolutely.
Both can be true.
But you know, America has an issue with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like politics. We talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
I never understood my acquaintances, because they shifted from friends to acquaintances who were Trump supporters, why they couldn't say, I support him, but that's wrong.
Absolutely.
You know, when I had no problem saying, I voted for President Obama, but that decision I think is wacky.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the problem is with that.
Yeah. Just acknowledge it. Own it. All of us, I can look at some of the biggest mistakes I've made in my life because I was emotional at the time.
Yep.
And still can say, you know what?
It was wrong.
I was wrong for what I did.
Absolutely.
Even though I understand why I did what I did.
But most
still
people want you to turn the page on what they do and what they have said.
Absolutely.
And act like it never happened, because I'm just trying to put it behind me.
Yep.
So I need you to cooperate with the insanity of me trying to get you to be convinced that I didn't say what I say or did what I did.
Just own it. I messed up. It is what it is.
Unbelievable.
Sorry. Just
All right, let's go to Tom. And then we're going to Danny. Florida's in the house this morning. Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, Reverend Nick?
hey man.
Welcome to OnPointe, man.
This thing with Shakira Richardson, I feel sorry for her.
Mm-hmm.
But when people want to say, black or white thing, she was the best chance for a goal to. It was not a black or white thing. People were interested in her, and she just happened to mess up.
And I think, and this is a parallel, they draw a lot of parallels to FloJo. And one of the big things about FloJo, one of the great suspicions was that she allegedly was using some some performance-enhancing substances. That was one of the big allegations. And her record was so far ahead that they're just approaching it, 30, 40 years later. And then to the way she passed away added to the suspicion.
Yep.
concerning her performance in the alleged
Yeah.
performance enhancing substances. But they're saying the same thing about Sha'Carri.
Yeah.
And whenever I would see her run,
Mm-hmm.
what has always been a hallmark of performance enhancement is not the starts
Yeah.
in the event, in the 100 or 200. It's their ability to maintain that top speed at the end.
Yep. Yep.
When everybody's decreasing, they're accelerating.
Yep.
That's a matter of strength.
Yep.
And
Yeah, even the
Yeah.
guy who beat Carl Lewis,
yeah,
Ben,
Ben Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
yes,
you know-
he came on at the end like you wouldn't believe.
I saw him go from 6th in the Olympic 100 meters to first.
Yep. Yep. That doesn't happen.
Man, that thing was so quick. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
you know, who does that?
Yeah.
And you're running against Carlos, who has a great top end.
Yep.
Who?
Yeah. Got off on the technicality.
Yeah, there was
He
some,
got off on the technicality.
There's some things. So.
Come on now.
And Michael Phelps, people don't realize he lost millions of dollars
Yep.
Yep.
when this came out. He was a lot of endorsements, commercials, and they wiped him from immediately.
And I think when we try to say that they're picking on the young woman because she's African American, the drug test is the drug test, and prominent athletes who are breaking records generally get tested more
Yep.
than other athletes do.
Yep. Yep.
Prominent athletes get. I mean, Serena Williams, they say is the most tested athlete in the world.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In the world.
In the world, yep.
She just had to withdraw too.
Yeah, 'cause she got hurt.
She got hurt. Something happened with her
Good
leg.
knee or something. Yeah.
Yeah, she's something. Those courts must have a problem because she wasn't the only one that slipped and hurt her ankle. It was one or two other big stars. Who are
Yeah.
not going to play this weekend because of slipping.
Yeah, I think they slide along that baseline in the back.
Yeah.
Where the grass is worn out.
Yeah.
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 That's unfortunate, man.
And Bishop, one other thing.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about right and wrong. My girl, who I think is going to be the next Republican leader, Liz Cheney, she got on this committee with Nancy Pelosi for,
Yeah.
January 6th.
Yeah.
I think she's doing the right thing, and she's somebody to look out for.
I think she is doing the right thing, and I think that's why McCarthy showed his hand by talking about she was a traitor. Then he tried to walk it back.
Yep.
But the reality is I don't even know now why. The Republicans are playing chess, and the Democrats are playing checkers. I don't know why. Once they said we don't want the committee, and Nancy said, all right, then we can have our own. Why does McCarthy now get to choose who's on it?
Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's got something on somebody, or he's got some stuff. He is very powerful.
I think he's not. Never mind. Okay.
Another thing too, this thing with Cheney, she is not someone who's not a real Republican. She's someone who's been there. Her family's been there, so she's not somebody who's a turncoat. She's, I think she's the right person to do what she's doing.
But I also think she knows, because she is a Republican, I think she knows which people from the Republican side were entertaining those groups that broke into the Capitol.
Yeah.
I think we're getting ready to find out, because I don't know how you feel, Tom, but I feel this. If I'm in the building when they break in, and Secret Service has to hustle me out so they don't kill me, why wouldn't I want an investigation to find out who on the inside helped facilitate this thing?
Absolutely.
And the only reason can be is because there's some complicit people in your party.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you remember the day it happened, that evening, McCarthy, knucklehead from South Carolina, they were all gung-ho that this was wrong, and then they changed their tune within 2 or 3 days.
Unbelievable. Because these guys did what they did because insanely thought they were going to stop that count.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which was why I believe, what was his name? Pence.
Pence, yeah.
Pence. Why Pence suddenly became a target after he literally kissed Trump's behind publicly in every situation.
They were walking around the Capitol saying they were going to hang him.
Man, and they had rope to do it.
Yeah.
And the president left him out to dry in there, man.
Yeah, and that was supposed to be his boy. I mean, he's the guy who was always in his corner.
Doc, he was never failing publicly.
Yeah.
He was never failing publicly. But I think the other thing I think they're worried about is we're getting ready to find out, you know, those tours, quote unquote tours, on tape.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys sent their assistants down to give these guys tours. Because I've been in the building several times. I still don't know my way around there.
Yep.
It's one of the most convoluted places I've ever been.
And you can't tell the cameras everywhere,
and
too.
And came out, you know, they were in Nancy Pelosi's real office, not the fake office.
No, man,
they
because
went places where nobody should have known who was there.
I'm telling you, I've been to the same office 3 and 4 times down there, and I still don't know how to get there.
Yep.
You need assistance. It's like a maze in there. It's unbelievable. So there's no way they just went right in somebody's office. I mean, the real office, not the one that's close to the chamber where they do all the litigation, all that stuff, all the arguments and stuff. That the real office, the one with the windows. The real one, not the cubby hole, but the one with the windows and the side offices and the living room in there. Those offices. Man, good to hear from you, Tom.
Yeah, man.
You guys have a great 4th of July.
You too, man.
care,
Thanks for calling.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right.
866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. That's 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can give us a call. Let's talk about this thing. And we're going to go to Danny in Florida. Hey, Danny, how you doing? What's up, Dan?
Good morning, Bishop, Pastor Nick, staff. How you all doing today?
Doing great, man. Thanks for calling us.
Yes. I just want to just hit 2 things here.
Okay.
Going back to what's happening in Florida, starting off with the collapse of the condo, which is a bad situation, but it has opened up things that have been done wrong for years that should have never, ever happened. And there's, cover up here and there as to the system as to how it's being done. And I was reading my Bible, and I went back to, I think it's Matthew, the 7th chapter.
Yeah.
About the foundation that you build your house on.
Yes, sir.
And we actually can see this, how it actually happened. It shouldn't have been built to begin with. And when you look at the early settlements and the way that they did things, as we say back in the day, they would never put up a tall building that close to the beach or anything like that. Okay. And it's a situation now as they have to make a quick decision as to what's happening with us as far as weather's going. There's a storm that's out there, and it seems to be coming this way.
Okay.
Now, they had to evacuate the area of the existing building that's there and get the people out, because there's still changes and shifts and moving as to what that structure is, because there's danger for those that are trying to clear the area as well as those that were in there.
And I also understand that there was some demolition within feet of that building not too long ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with that, and all of a sudden we have the governor. He comes down. We haven't seen him since I don't know when, and it seems like he's trying to get into the spotlight of things that's going on that he had anything to do with.
I wonder if I think America is becoming rather numb-hearted, if I can use those simple terms. Every time I see the pictures, I can't imagine the number of people that are underneath that rubble, because the building, half of the building is gone, and it all came down. It came down 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's devastating to see. God is able to do anything. There's usually a miraculous story in this. But now we're more than a week into this thing.
Yes.
And the hopes are diminishing because of time.
Yep.
And then the other thing is that they're trying to lift this stuff up,
Yeah.
and you don't know what the reactions are underneath the ground.
Yeah.
That's correct.
What that causes shifts. Someone could still be alive in there, but it's just a devastating thing to see.
Yes, yes. And the thing is that the wear and tear of those people that are trying to rescue those that are in there.
Yeah.
There have been stories of they could hear voices and what have you, but they just couldn't get to particular areas and things like that. And now, with the storm that's out there, I don't take that, lightly. Being a Floridian, born and raised here, you know how it is. And with that storm that's out there, so
That water table is going to rise, right?
Yeah.
exactly. You know about it, Bishop. So
Yeah.
you know what they're up against. So now, what do you do?
And they can't rush and do it.
And now they're saying that the workers have to be careful because the other side of the condo might
yeah.
collapse
That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about.
while they're working.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
What
It's
do you do?
yeah.
What do you do?
And whoever owns that building, there has to be some consequences too.
Well,
Yes.
I think what you're
It
going to
has to be.
find,
It has
Pastor
to be.
Nick, is this. From what I understand, and from what I've been told by those that do this kind of work in Florida, there are a lot of concessions made
Mm-hmm.
depending upon relationship.
You got it, Bishop.
Who you are is very important.
Yeah.
Who you know. What's that we used to say? Who determines what?
Yep. Yeah.
So the same regulations for one builder may not be the same for another. And a lot of times, I don't know down in that area, but up in the Northeast, money talks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's still, yeah.
And that money oftentimes is at the risk of people in the future.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know.
And see, the way that this whole situation came about is that generally people in America, they think that where they are on that particular area, that's part of the coast of Florida,
Okay.
as such, where it's adjoined to the coast, but it's not.
Okay.
It's a separate island.
Okay.
That whole structure of Miami Beach, North Beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach, is not adjoined to the mainland.
Okay.
So a lot of that, as I said before, is reclaimed land to begin
Oh,
with.
really?
Yes. If you look at it, you actually see it and you get a better understanding of feeling why was that allowed to be done to begin with.
And one thing I've always been told is that water always returns.
Comes right back.
Comes back, man. It may take 50 years, but it comes back.
It's going to come back.
Wow.
Wow. Thank
So
you, Dan.
For us, when the storm, that something happens where it goes a different direction or what have you, because we're just bracing, for what's what. The wife, she has all the supplies. She starts back in December getting things ready. So
Okay.
mm,
Because you guys know it's coming.
yes.
Well, please give her my regards once again, okay?
Will do, Bishop.
All right. Talk to you soon, man.
Okay.
Thanks for calling
Be
On
blessed.
Point. Bye-bye.
Thank-
So kids now make up 24% of the positive COVID cases?
Yep.
That should cause a lot of us to recalculate some things.
Yep.
I know there was some tutoring situations that were available for the kids starting next week, and I asked, "Are you going to be doing this stuff online?" And the response was, "No, we're going to bring them in." And I'm like, I'm not taking a chance.
We're doing our own.
Yeah, I'm not taking a chance. I'm not going to do it. I got to find some kind of program, some kind of bridge thing for the summer. And a couple days a week, I'll just bring them in for a couple hours and do it. Because the decisions that we're making give you the impression that we're not in the pandemic that we're in.
Yeah. Yep.
So 24% of the kids are positive. 24% of kids. We've got almost 30% of the new cases are Delta, and it's spreading like wildfire. Southeast and the Midwest have the highest COVID spikes. We watched the first wave start in New York for us, hit North Jersey, hit South Jersey. That's how it went the last time. But we're behaving as though we don't have any experiential knowledge of how this thing
how it
works.
Yep. And a lot of it's spreading where the vaccination count isn't as high. So, but it doesn't mean it's not spreading where the vaccination count is high either.
Well, people are catching it that have been vaccinated.
Yeah.
I just found out yesterday that two friends of mine, pastors from North Jersey, caught COVID about a month ago, month and a half, 2 months ago, month and a half, 2 months ago, and both of them died.
Wow.
Pastor and First Lady of a church, both of them died. I went to school with the pastor, and found out that they had, an anniversary celebration. Insisted on having it. Friend of mine, they tried to have it at her establishment. She said, no, I'm not bringing it in here.
Yeah.
They went somewhere else, packed them in, had the traditional 3-hour service,
Wow.
and about 70% of the crowd caught COVID.
Wow. It's just not worth it.
And my
man.
2 friends died.
Yeah. It's just not worth it, man. I get the feeling, the angst of wanting to go live and go do after being cooped up for a year and some change. But
You
just
got
'cause
another
feel
20,
it.
30 years to live.
Right.
though.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's not like tomorrow's the last day.
Yeah. And being vaccinated doesn't mean, I have people tell me, you're still wearing a mask? Yeah. Why don't you got vaccinated? Yes, I got vaccinated, but I'm still wearing my mask.
They're not listening, man.
Nope.
Let's go to Dawn. Hi, Dawn. How you doing?
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to OnPointe.
Thank you. I was calling in this morning to talk about the city I live in, which is Camden, New Jersey,
Yes, ma'am.
and it being a food desert.
Okay.
And our only supermarket just closed down.
Wow.
Oh, did it?
Oh, yes, on Mount Ephraim
Mount
Avenue.
Ephraim, on Mount Ephraim Avenue.
Yes, sir, the Price Right.
It closed?
It is now closed.
Wow.
There is not a supermarket here for the people. Now, Bishop, I am a senior citizen. I do not drive. I live in a senior building. Actually, there are 2 senior buildings here on Ferry Avenue where I live. And we're close to that Price Right. And without a car, you really have to leave the city to get any decent food, fruit, or vegetables. And it's real disheartening that we are already a food desert.
Wow. I thought that Shop Right would be was Shop. What did they call it?
Priceline.
Priceline.
It was Acme before, I think, right? Was it Acme before?
I thought it was a
It used to be
Pathmark before.
Pathmark.
Pathmark before.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Pathmark pulled out of the because Pathmark was big in Lawnside.
Yeah.
And when one of our officers here was a regional manager of Pathmark, and so I asked him. I said, what are the challenges? And he said that one of the greatest challenges for them was their pilferage budget had to be 30 to 40% higher. Wow. He gave me an example. He said a person will come into the store, grab a loaf of bread from the counter, go and get some cold cuts, make the sandwich, throw the rest of the bread away, either take or put the remaining meat on the shelf. And he said that was very common for people to come in, open sodas, drink them while they're walking around, that whole 9 yards. And the pilferage was 30 to 40% higher than a regular store. So you're talking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So after a while, they look at the store and say, it's not worth it to us.
Yeah. Somebody just said they're putting a Save-A-Lot in there, an expanded
There's a
one.
Save-A-Lot across the street.
They're expanding the
That's
Save-A-Lot. I guess Save-A-Lot's moving over there and making it a bigger store. But but the bigger thing, and I didn't think about it till now, that is the only grocery store that I know of in Camden.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen the grocery store anywhere else beside.
You won't.
So in North Camden and all those other places,
Everybody has to come there.
Wow, that's a trip from.
Well, it's amazing how things happen. I remember when I was with Urban America, and we put a Home Depot in the middle of Newark, and everybody in the nation said it wouldn't work. It became the #1 Home Depot in the nation because there were no independent hardware stores anywhere in the area. So everybody came to the Home Depot.
Yeah.
You know, and we did the same thing with the food desert thing. But I believe there needs to be, you know, at least 2 or 3 supermarkets.
Yeah.
But I think what we have to do as a people is when we have to look at these things as investments in our community, and then we treat them like they're investments in our community. So that we give people a reason to stay other than the fact that we want them to feel guilty about taking the store away. You know, it has to be profitable for those businesses. And I think we can do that as a community. I think we can recognize investment, treat it as an investment, protect it as an investment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't know the pilferage rate was that high.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I believe that.
It's ridiculous.
Eating fruit and all that stuff. Just
why are you walking around the store?
Well,
The ghetto-ness of it all. Just
more security to protect your
yeah, and the security is much higher.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I mean, it shouldn't be.
The people of the city really are suffering.
Yeah.
You know, I'll count myself as the first to say, you know, it's hard to get to a store. Now, Save-A-Lot would not be my #1 priority if I was thinking of, you know, what grocery stores I'd like to shop.
Sure.
You know, I generally go outside the city, and I have to pay a taxi to do so. I'll go out to the Acme.
Sure.
And that's a supermarket.
Yeah.
Save-A-Lot does not compare.
Okay.
And that's the thing that they're doing now in most urban areas, which is very unhealthy. Is putting a bunch of dollar stores in there, Family Dollars and all those Dollar Trees and stuff.
Yeah.
So people go grocery shopping in those
at
places.
the dollar store.
Yes. To get their food, like they're not, you can't get like produce and stuff, but the other stuff. So the unhealthy diets that people are attributed.
Yeah.
Where else can you go?
Fill up their shopping carts at the dollar store.
Yeah.
I mean, full to the brim.
Really?
With snacks
At
and
dollar
yes.
store. And they think they're getting a bargain.
Yep.
There's no nutrition in that food.
No, and a lot of it's way past its dates too.
Yep.
So expiration dates are like birthdays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed they are. Indeed they
literally.
are. So thanks for listening.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm hoping and praying that some agencies will come in to maybe start a food garden or something that we need here in Camden for the people, maybe to learn to grow some fruits and vegetables of their own. I don't know what properties may be available, but we need help.
I'm surprised they didn't build one. They're building up downtown for all those medical students and all those people.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't put nothing down there.
Sir, please don't get me started on the downtown.
Well, they certainly are doing it.
Have you been downtown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The drug addicts are everywhere, bending over in the streets, right by the police administration building, right by the city hall.
Wow.
And when I ask the questions, it's why I've been told that the rehab clinic or the detox clinic or whatever it is they have down there is downtown. So that's why the drug addicts hang around there.
They're moving it, though.
It's shot every day.
They're moving it.
I hope
Are they moving it?
They are moving it. I know some people that work at a couple of the meth clinics down there. They're moving them.
Where?
Into the neighborhood park.
Oh boy.
So that all that can move.
They're doing it in Chicago.
That's all a part of that whole.
That's what Chicago did with downtown Chicago. They moved all the people out to the neighborhoods.
Yep.
It's truly embarrassing to see.
Yeah.
But thank you guys.
Thank you, Dawn. Absolutely. Be praying for you now.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well,
wow.
I wonder if we can get together with a few ministries in Camden and do what Zion Baptist Church did up on Broad Street.
Okay.
You know, have a progressive plaza type of situation. Supermarket, some other stuff there.
Yeah.
And get the support of the community to protect the store and bring food in that people really need to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I wonder if we can do it.
Yep.
No, I don't wonder if we can do it. I know we can.
Yeah.
I would like to see us do it with cooperation.
Yeah.
You know, in partnership with some people.
Yep.
And you know, we have some brain power in Camden and some pastors that probably could do this.
Absolutely.
But I didn't know that they were taking So they're going to expand the shop rate. That's not a real supermarket.
Yeah, to save a lot. They're going to expand.
Save a
That's
lot.
not a real.
That's a big dollar store, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
literally. Yeah, basically.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
today we canceled because of rain.
Yeah.
So we won't have drive-in service today.
We are doing the communion stuff at 12 o'clock. From 12
Yeah,
to 3
we are
today.
distributing communion from 12 to 3.
Yeah, today and 12 to 3 tomorrow.
Okay, 12 to 3 today and 12 to 3 tomorrow. You come get your communion elements, as Pastor Nick has taught me to say. Not the bread and wine like I said from back in the day.
You can say it.
I want to say elements, theological term. 8 a.m. tomorrow, we want you to join us, 9:45 to 10:45. Please join us for Engage Live, 11 a.m. Join us again for our 11 a.m. encounter. And 6 p.m. is our communion encounter. We want you to join us then. If you have a prayer request, send it in to social@gotobethany.com. That's social@gotobethany.com. Subscribe to David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ on YouTube, but also subscribe to our podcast platforms, DGEMS, that's DGEMS, and OnPointe. Those are our podcast platforms. Join us for the conversations. I know you enjoy it. For Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David Evans, and remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you, and see you next time.